What if I told you that almost everything you were taught about avoiding debt is exactly what's keeping you from actually building wealth? Let's dive into this because we are looking at a huge counterintuitive financial paradox right at the foundation of wealth creation. We're talking about a fundamental divide in how money is handled, and honestly, it challenges pretty much every piece of conventional wisdom we've ever been taught about personal finance.
Picture this for a second. Imagine a billionaire, let's just say a major real estate tycoon, walking right into a bank. They sit down at this massive mahogany desk and they confidently sign a loan document for $50 million. There's no hesitation at all, no panic, their hands aren't sweating. They are taking on what to most of us seems like an unimaginably massive mountain of debt, right? I mean, 50 million. But they're doing it with complete and utter certainty. Why? Because they know exactly how every single dollar of that 50 million is going to be deployed. They aren't worried about those monthly payments because they've already structured the deal so the money pays for itself. It's just a completely different psychological relationship with borrowing.
But then, let's flip it and look at the other side of the spectrum. Think about a struggling worker who puts in 50, maybe even 60 hours a week, but they completely avoid debt. They stay at exactly zero borrowed dollars. And, it makes total sense why. We've all heard the traditional advice, right? Cut up your credit cards. If you can't pay cash, you literally can't afford it. Debt is the ultimate enemy. They have this deep-seated and frankly perfectly understandable fear of borrowing. They treat any form of debt like it's radioactive, something dangerous to be avoided at all absolute costs. They proudly hold their debt at zero, thinking this is the ultimate financial high ground. They sleep soundly knowing they owe absolutely nothing to anyone.
And yet, here is the real mystery. Why does the billionaire keep getting richer? Despite taking on $50 million in debt, their net worth just continues to climb year after year. How can someone who owes so much money end up financially further ahead than the person who owes absolutely zero? Well, here's a wild, surprising fact to add to the puzzle. The wealthy often use debt strategically to legally avoid taxes. Yeah, they pull out equity without ever triggering a taxable event. It turns out the biggest money secret out there isn't actually money itself. The secret is debt. Understanding how to use it, leverage it, and control it, that is the dividing line between those who just scrape by and those who build actual generational wealth.
So to understand why this happens, we have to acknowledge a very common, deeply ingrained belief. You see, most people look at debt and they just see a trap. They see this deep financial hole that you fall into and basically can never climb out of. And let's be totally honest here, for a lot of people, it really is a trap. Think about the person who's drowning in high-interest credit card debt because they financed a depreciating asset. Like a massive new 85-inch TV or a luxury vacation they couldn't realistically afford. That right there is the trap in action. Society has essentially trained the average person to view all borrowing through that exact same lens, as this inescapable burden that's eventually going to crush them. But what if that generalized perspective is the exact thing keeping people stuck in the rat race?
Let's move to and see how this builds by looking at a practical timeline of two friends making completely different choices. Look at day one. Our first friend decides to use a loan to purchase a modest rental property. The second friend, completely afraid to borrow, decides to just rigorously save their cash instead. Now fast forward to 6 months later. The friend who took the loan is now actively collecting rent every single month, basically using someone else's money, the tenants, to pay down the bank. The other friend? Well, they are still sitting on the sidelines, held back by that fear of borrowing, carefully stashing away a few $100s a month. Finally, look at the 1-year mark. The borrower now owns an actual appreciating asset that's producing steady, reliable income. The other person? They're simply still saving. They completely missed out on an entire year of compound growth, appreciation, and cash flow.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that it reveals the absolute core mechanical secret of this entire paradox. This right here is where the divergence happens. Poor people often use debt to buy liabilities. To put it simply, a liability is something that loses value or takes money out of your pocket every single month, like financing a brand new luxury car that depreciates by 20% the absolute second you drive it off the dealership lot. Rich people, on the other hand, use debt to buy assets. An asset puts money into your pocket. They use borrowed money to acquire things like a multifamily duplex that generates monthly rent or a business that produces cash. It's an entirely different application of the exact same financial tool. So the crucial point is tracing the downstream flow of this money. The reality is, the bank gets paid either way. Let's face it, they always make sure they win, right? Banks are definitely not in the business of losing money. But look at the vastly different outcome for the borrower. Because of how they utilize that debt, one person gains positive cash flow from their income-producing asset. Every month, their bank account goes up. The other person, the one who used debt to buy liabilities, they just gain more bills.
Every month, they are bleeding cash. One outcome results in long-term wealth generation and true financial freedom, and the other, it just results in a heavy, exhausting financial burden. And this brilliantly illustrates that we need a complete shift in our perspective. The real question we should be asking ourselves isn't whether debt is inherently good or inherently bad. Honestly, debt is just a mechanism. It's a tool. It's kind of like a hammer. You can use it to build a house, or you can use it to completely smash your thumb. Viewing it strictly as a positive or a negative completely misses the underlying mechanics of how wealth is actually built and structured. So what does this mean for you? It means the next time you think about taking out a loan, you shouldn't just ask yourself, hey, can I afford this monthly payment? You really need to stop and ask, is this money going to buy me something that actively pays me back?
Which brings us to our final defining thought for this explainer. Is the debt working for you, or are you working for it? Really let that linger for a moment. If you're taking on debt to buy liabilities, you are going to spend the rest of your life working tirelessly just to pay for that debt. You essentially become a servant to the lender. But if you shift your mindset and you take on debt to acquire assets, that debt goes to work for you. It literally functions like a tireless employee, generating income while you sleep, while you vacation, and while you spend time with your family. It completely challenges our whole traditional financial worldview, doesn't it? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this sparks a desire to deeply reevaluate how you view and use the financial tools at your disposal.